Well, Friday today marks the 2-year anniversary of the Iran nuclear deal agreement. Now, the Obama administration helped broker the deal that President Trump has threatened to tear up. He certainly did so during his campaign, and he has also called it the worst deal ever. Even still, the Trump administration will reportedly recertify that Iran is complying with the provisions of the deal. Now, the agreement requires recertification every 3 months. Joining us to discuss this is Eric Mandel. Eric, thank you for being with us. And Eric, 2 years on, the worst deal ever, or do you think it's proving to be a success?
So this is the second anniversary of the JCPOA, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, which is still an unsigned deal. The Iranians, the Americans, or the P5+1 have not signed onto it. So let's remember what the deal was, what was given. So the Atlantic's editor-in-chief at the time said that President Obama bet global security on the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism adhering to an agreement. So what was that agreement? So it will allow 10 to 15 years, they will have an industrial-sized nuclear program if they choose. In 10 years, they can have plutonium reactors. We basically, with front-loaded sanctions relief, saved the Iranian economy from devastation. We supported the supreme leader, and we undermined and we betrayed the Iranian moderates who could have truly been our friends. So that what was the deal. So the Iranians just had to wait for time. But what happened is there's been many smoking guns that they have violated the JCPOA. They've exceeded limits on the heavy water that they're supposed to have. They've exceeded and bypassed the limits for the JCPOA on advanced centrifuges. They have not allowed the international inspectors to have full access, certainly to the military. And you have three. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, Eric, you're confusing me because firstly you say that Iran has not actually signed the deal, but they have received the sanctions relief and they have received the funds as part of this deal. So let's start off with that very simple, basic point. Explain that.
It makes absolutely no sense. This was an agreement, when we think back in time, that should have been approved by the Senate. They only had 42 senators voting for this. This should have been by 60 senators. This was unpopular by the American public. And so it was brilliantly maneuvered to have this agreement come into fruition, but it was never a signed agreement. And there were two parts to it, the JCPOA and a UN part, which don't match one another to this day. And so what we're dealing with is a JCPOA that has been violated, even though all the Iranians had to do was wait in time to have an industrial-sized nuclear program.
But, Eric, we are hearing that the reports are that they are complying with this, and it looks like the Trump administration is going to recertify that. You're saying that the UN inspectors aren't really being given the access that they need to verify this, and of course many people raise the concern of general confidence with the UN inspecting agencies. We've got 30 seconds, so I'm going to let you tackle this very quickly.
So basically what we're dealing with is the Iranians have violated JCPOA. They're doing all of these things. So we have 3 German intelligence agencies that have said that Iran has sought products and scientific know-how for developing weapons of mass destruction. We can continue to ignore what this is. Maybe that's the more convenient thing to do. But we have to, for American national security interests, hold them to the standards of the JCPOA and the UN Security Council resolutions, because they will incrementally still try to violate what's going on, and they're testing the Trump administration.
Right.
So the Trump administration has to step up.
Eric, we're out of time. We're definitely going to have to bring you back on this one. Thank you so much, Eric Mandel.